Iran squarely blames Zelensky for a deadly strike on an Iranian commercial vessel in the Caspian Sea that killed a sailor. Foreign Minister Seyed Abbas Araghchi alleges that Zelensky killed an Iranian sailor in the Caspian attack on the ship. Tehran denounces Ukraine's strike on the vessel as a blatant UN Charter violation and a serious breach of international law. Iran's foreign minister lashes out at the Freeloader in Kyiv, using the insult to personally target Zelensky over the attack. Tehran warns Zelensky that the ship attack cannot go unanswered, vowing that Iran will respond. Araghchi says he has warned both European leaders and Russia about Ukraine's role in the Caspian strike and its wider implications. Seyed Abbas Araghchi said, and I quote, "Zelensky has attacked an Iranian commercial vessel, killing a sailor. A blatant UN Charter violation done at Israel's behest to drag Europe into its war." In calls with EU High Rep Kallas and FM Lavrov, made clear that what the Freeloader in Kyiv did cannot go unanswered. Unquote. Tehran claims Israel used Ukraine as a proxy in the attack to drag Europe deeper into its war, tying the strike to broader regional tensions. Iran warned that Ukraine's reported strike on an Iranian vessel in the Caspian Sea would not go unanswered. Iranian Deputy Parliament Speaker Ali Niqzad said any state enabling attacks against Iran could face direct retaliation. Niqzad warned that any territory used to launch attacks on Iran would be considered a legitimate military target.
Over the past years, we have endured all the violations committed by European governments, and we warn these governments, especially the new government in the United Kingdom, the Parliament and government of Bulgaria, and the government of Ukraine, against making themselves a tool in the hands of the United States, and to refrain from embarking on adventures that do not concern them. The Islamic Republic of Iran will always exercise its legal right to defend the integrity of its territory, and any site used as a launch point for aggression against our country will certainly be a legitimate target for our armed forces, and the reckless conduct of the Ukrainian government will not go unanswered. The criminal United States is living in a state of despair in the quagmire into which it has sunk, and we must reaffirm this fact once again. Conditions in the Strait of Hormuz will not return to what they were before the war, and the deluded American president must forget this dream and leave the region, which has been home to us and our ancestors for thousands of years, before he suffers a defeat even harsher than the previous one. The Islamic Republic of Iran, thanks to divine victory and with the support of its strong and capable armed forces, is fully prepared to punish the American Zionist enemy with severe and painful punishment if it undertakes any adventure, and it would be better for the American people to restrain their sadistic president before American soldiers return to their country in coffins.
Tehran accused Ukraine of striking an Iranian commercial vessel operating in the Caspian Sea during the incident. Iran said the attack killed one sailor, injured another crew member, and caused significant damage to the commercial ship. Ukraine said it targeted a vessel it alleged was transporting military cargo between Iran and Russia. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi condemned the strike, calling it a dangerous act that violated the principles of the UN Charter. Araghchi told his Russian counterpart that Iran would take all necessary measures to defend its security and national interests. The two foreign ministers discussed the reported attack during a phone call on July 26 as regional tensions continued to rise. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov condemned the strike, describing it as a threat to Iran-Russia commercial shipping. Lavrov said Ukraine should be held accountable for actions that endangered trade and navigation across the Caspian Sea. The two ministers also discussed rising regional tensions following the recent US-Iran agreement. Both sides said new instability around the Strait of Hormuz followed what they described as US breaches of the agreement. Donald Trump rejected reports claiming the US was running low on munitions during the conflict, dismissing the assessments as inaccurate. Trump said the United States possessed far more munitions than any other country and more than it currently required. Earlier, The Wall Street Journal reported General Dan Kane had warned senior officials about declining U.S. air defense interceptor stockpiles. Meanwhile, Qatar and Oman discussed diplomatic efforts aimed at implementing the recently announced US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. Qatar urged all parties to pursue dialogue and safeguard freedom of navigation through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. As diplomatic contacts resumed, Al Arabiya reported China worked with Pakistan to help revive US-Iran negotiations. Axios reported that CENTCOM chief Brad Cooper also urged ending strikes around Hormuz after the campaign had reached its objectives. According to Axios, Cooper assessed that the operation had significantly degraded Iran's ability to conduct maritime attacks. Cooper reportedly said most designated military targets had already been exhausted during Operation Epic Fury, Axios reported. Without launching a broader new offensive, Cooper reportedly concluded that extending the bombing campaign would serve no meaningful military purpose, Axios reported.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you'll have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.